Yo! Video games.
This isn't Retro Coach. This is a game you're freaking completely familiar with. We're playing Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on YoVideogames, and Simmons is at the helm.
Sanic.
And it's funny, we're actually gonna play a Sanic game, and I'm not gonna say Sanic gotta go fast at all.
You know why you're not? Because you're not gonna play a Sanic.
Oh my god, Tails. Blasphemy. Fucking blasphemy.
Tails never
Is
fails.
Tails better? Is Tails like...
Tails has no discernible difference in this one.
Oh, I thought he had like small variants.
They are, they're not. They're really not much.
Shitty. He's got a tail. His name is Miles. Oh god. Oh, the speed run has been failed. We're not gonna be able to make it.
Sonic!
Sonic.
Tails!
So Sonic is Simmons' greatest game he's ever played.
What?
Way over Zelda and Mario.
No!
Simmons writes fan fiction for Sonic. And he showed us one, like this part where like Knuckles and Sonic like, you know, like sword fight. It was great. It was really weird that they had penises though. It wasn't actual swords.
You fucking asshole! You said you would never tell anyone! God damn it! Now I'm gonna have to like go to fucking Sonic can't say the website's name out loud and delete my account and erase all my fucking names.
I think you mean DeviantArt. Gotta go to DeviantArt.
No, dude. There is a much blacker, darker hole of the internet for Sonicdom.
What?
Than
You
DeviantArt.
fucking, because pretty much all I know of Sonic fan art is pretty much Sonic like either pregnant or
Shadow pregnant and
Sonic pregnant having sex with other male Sonic characters or pregnant with ponies.
Or Shadow's pregnant.
Yes.
With the pony and Shrek's the husband.
Fucking yeah. There's an amazing thread on NeoGAF called "Awesome Quote Unquote Fan Art," and it's dedicated as "What the fuck am I looking at?" type of shit, and it's legitimately funny. And if people drew that stuff with the actual intent of like fulfilling a fantasy of some kind, fucking great. I'm so glad that shit exists because I'm so glad.
Because really, I mean, one true pairing, Shadow and Shrek. I mean,
Shadow and Shrek. He's got a gun and he's got a big ugly fucking gorilla face. They fit perfectly.
Ogres have layers.
So this is pretty monumental. This is the first time we played a Sanic game on YoVideogames, and I think this.
Look at the lock. It's the Enterprise. See?
What?
Enterprise. Launch. Boo!
Holy shit! Get the fuck out. Spock. Fucked. This is the one where, like, yeah, you release the animals, you save the animals in this one, but there was one where you actually collect them, and I think that was Knights, and we just talked how Knights is pretty much Sonic, but flying. Which is why it's fucking great.
Which means, therefore, Knights is Tails.
And Knights is infinitely better. Come on, right? Knights is better than Sanic.
You know what? Okay, like,
debatable?
I think it is debatable, because when I was reviewing Journey of Dreams, which I know everyone has their own, feelings on the game.
It's okay.
And I was, when I played the game for review, I was thorough. I didn't just, like, play through it once. Because if I just sat there and played through it once, I would have had a pretty negative opinion about the game.
Yeah.
But when I go back and I was, like, replaying it, and just doing the night stuff, and I realized there's a real gem hidden in here, but it is sandwiched between...
It is sandwiched between horrible fucking platforming.
The shittiest fucking sandwich of voice acting and little kids and fucking awful
like a game that doesn't really know what it wants to be sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like exactly like what Sega did with the Sonic Unleashed Werewolf horse shit.
Yeah.
And like deliberately told them to put in this crappy ass platformer section. We're talking about the Knights game on Wii, guys.
Journey of Dreams. And
the moments where it wasn't that great.
Yeah, when you're doing Knights and you're doing like, things that are just trying to like get the highest score or whatever or not like, miss a link, it's like, oh, this is great.
It's actually really fucking awesome. Good, yeah. Yeah, it's like classic Sega fandom, and it is what it is, but then it definitely was around that time where Sega just lost their fucking rocker and never got it back, to be honest.
And personally, I feel that, like, I always thought, Sega can't get Sonic right anymore.
They can't, dude. They just, I think the closest...
And I just felt like, you know what, maybe they should just stick to Knights. This as much as, like, if they can just get rid of the voice acting and cutscenes...
Oh god, it was so bad.
Stuff, they'd have a good franchise on their hands.
It existed in the old game as well, but I think it was kind of okay in the old game to an extent because it wasn't as embellished. Like, there wasn't characters talking to each other for 5 fucking minutes straight about weird, existential, very children-esque themes.
Yeah.
And it was like, dude, fuck me. If a kid is watching this, they gave up listening 30 fucking minutes ago, man. And now you're pretty much talking to adults, and we don't give a shit. We just want to play knights. Yeah, there was some very odd moments in that game, but in general, I think there's only one game that actually has stood up the test of a good Sonic game, and it's not like perfect by any means like Sonic Adventure, and I'm fucking kidding.
Yeah.
It's Sonic Generations. And I think Sonic Gen is actually...
I would argue Sonic Colors is a good game.
Is a good game?
It has some dumb shit in it.
Gotcha. I think Sonic Generations
It's mostly
is kinda
just
the
like
same way,
control.
right?
Yeah. It's just there's some like dumb control things in Colors that kind of hold it back a little bit.
Gotcha. Are you looking forward to Sonic World?
No.
Should we even fucking play that on this channel? Does that even fit?
I actually am probably gonna be playing that on the channel.
Nice.
Might be playing.
Whether or not I'm involved,
Yeah.
it might go up.
There might be a guest involved in that.
So you're gonna be playing Sonic Galaxy.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
gonna happen. We played this game at E3, and it was
did.
like, it's okay.
It was okay.
It's got the same issue, like where you can't have a 3D Sonic game in a 3D world because gotta go fast. Like, it never fucking works in 3D space. It just doesn't. It just really screws up a lot of the time. And the issue with that game is that they tone down the speed of the game a lot. Like,
well, yeah,
the game
now
feels
they do
slow as shit.
Well, they do this thing where it's like, okay, like your default running speed is
really slow.
Really slow, and you hold down the right trigger to run.
Yeah.
Because now it's like jog, run, and then there's like you hold down left trigger to spin dash, because they brought that back and put it in 3D.
So it's kind of like gotta go sort of fast.
So it's like if you want to go really fast, you spin dash, which is like this, but like you hold down a different trigger. They did that, they said, for control purposes, so people felt like they could have more control over his movement and running. And really, I think at E3 it didn't really seem like it was working. It was just
very
another
odd.
way.
Yeah.
It worked in the 2D levels, like the side-scrolling levels.
Well,
like,
this is the part where I've barely seen Sonic 2, like past the second level.
Really?
I've beaten Sonic 2 like back in the day. Like I played this game 15 years ago when I had a Genesis, but I didn't play it that much. Like I wasn't the biggest fan of the Sonic games, but I thought they looked so fucking great because this was out before SNES, and they looked so freaking
2
cool.
wasn't out before SNES, but like, yeah,
One
Genesis was.
Yeah, Genesis had the leg up on the graphics over Nintendo for quite some time. That guy is straight bugging right into that. And holy fucking troll-licking dick!
Dr. Robotnik.
What an asshole! I think what I probably played the most Sonic game on Genesis, shocking enough, was Dr. Robotnik's Beaten Meat. What the fuck was it called? Bean Meat Madness.
Mean Bean Machine.
Mean Bean Madness Beat Machine.
It's just Blue Pop.
Yes, and it was actually really fucking fun. I played a lot of Golden Axe with my friends.
Whoa, over that.
Golden Axe was the shit. And I'm trying to think what else I played on Genesis a lot. I played X-Men.
This is like my favorite zone of the game too.
It looks neat, like Roman fucking hills and shit.
Yeah.
I hardly remember much beyond this. I remember the last level being kind of difficult. I remember getting Golden Sonic, Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan.
Super Sanikin.
Super Saiyan.
Super Sanikin.
But there's a lot of things I like about the Sonic series. What I found fucking hilarious is there wasn't a traditional Sonic game on the Saturn at all. Sega was just like, fuck it. Fuck it, whatever.
No, I mean, there's a long history behind that. I'd love to go into it sometime.
There's a 3D Sonic game technically, but it's not really a game. It's like a hub world.
There's the Museum of Sonic Jam, which is kind of a prototype at one point.
Right.
But yeah, there's a lot of weird things with the history behind Sonic Extreme and stuff. There was even a point where supposedly, like, there was a point where it was being made by Sega Technical Institute, which was based in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And there's a point where, like, they American dudes were like having a meeting with like some of the Japanese dudes about it.
Yeah.
And like the guy, you know, they got canceled from it or something. And it's because the guy left the CD with the fucking demo in the taxi to the meeting.
What the fuck?
Some like shit like that, and like he
that's
said,
why it didn't happen.
and they said why it didn't happen, and like that data is like lost completely now, and like apparently, according to some, it was like a much better finished code than what we ever saw.
A Saturn beta, the alpha, pretty much they had of a prototype that would have been a 3D Sonic game on Saturn existed.
Supposedly there was
lost.
a good one, and it's like lost completely.
Holy shit! Dude,
Yeah,
that's
there's
rough.
a lot of like mystery behind Sonic Extreme and its development.
Fucking nuts. Instead we got Sonic Adventure, which isn't bad. I mean, I'm kind of with you. I got a Dreamcast, and guess what the launch game I got almost every fucking launch game on the system besides maybe one sports game. Guess what game I didn't get?
Sonic Adventure.
Fucking Sonic Adventure. Like, the cheapest one that almost you could get anywhere. I never cared. Like, I played it, and I was like, this is cool, but I'm always kind of frustrated by the controls. Like, I always just never felt like I was ever in control of what was going on in Sonic Adventure.
Sonic Adventure's, like, great for, like, the first couple levels.
Yeah, the first level or two, yeah.
And then after that, it's just like, it's not that fun anymore.
Da 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 da. This fucking level's music, oh my god. There's a part in this level where we get legitimately stuck. That was like straight up Lion King SNES style giraffe puzzle horse shit. We should totally play that fucking game, by the way. Like, that'd be necessary, right? Lion King SNES on or Genesis. I have good memories. Actually, that was another Genesis game that I liked a lot. I realized that
maybe it's something like that. Games like that is what turned you off to platformers.
I enjoyed them a lot. I really did. I mean, I remember being excited as fuck for like Mario games.
I don't know. Your salt says otherwise.
I stopped playing them like when I was older. Like, 'cause I think you know what changed me? Killer Instinct really did. Like, when I was 11 years old and Killer Instinct came out, all other games seemed kiddie to me. And I was that point where you, like, grow up, like, and you... Not really grow up, but it's like you... I don't play RPGs. Those are for Dungeons and Dragons kids, you know. I play Street Fighter and Killer Instinct because they're cool. Shit like that, you know? It's
you mean your douchebag teenager stage.
It's exactly what it is, yeah. When you're a kid and you have to, like, prove yourself to be cool to everybody because of peer pressure and shit. So you have to play all the cool games.
You know, I didn't have that problem. And there's probably a very good reason why.
Were you in public schools?
Nope.
Oh, that's exactly fucking why.
Well, you know this. You know I was
I
was homeschooled through high school, so I never got to this point where it's like, I get a little cooler.
Ridiculous amounts of peer pressure throughout, like, you know,
it's probably why
junior high and high school.
It's probably why I don't have problems with public speaking, because I never got this thing of, like, I gotta worry about how I sound in front of people. I just don't care.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing where there was a huge fucking time where I was like really excited for video games throughout high school, and I literally dropped all games and did nothing but work out. Because I was just fucking sick of being so goddamn skinny and growing like 6 feet out of fucking nowhere. It pissed me off because I was like, I actually knew a couple of girls that I liked and I talked to them really frequently, and then out of fucking left field in my freshman year, I grew like 2 feet in a day. And I was this tall, skinny fuck. And I was like, what happened to my body? What happened to my body?
What's happening?
Like, everything is just fucked at that point. And during that time, I actually really enjoyed games and stuff like that. And that was when I was introduced to like Final Fantasy VII, and I had friends that we would play. But you really couldn't talk about that shit in high school because girls didn't think it was cool. So yeah, man, it was a lot of things with like repressed stuff of like enjoying games and stuff. And Sonic was one of those ones where it was like, I enjoyed it a lot when it came out when I was a kid, but I felt like I grew out of it really fast. And not even grew out of it because the game is for kids or anything like that, because it's fucking not. It's just a great, solid-ass fucking game.
Yeah, it's just fun.
It's just that I wouldn't want to be caught playing Sonic amongst my peers type of shit. And the same mentality is with a lot of other peers and crap like that. Doesn't peer pressure fucking suck?
Yeah.
It really
There's
is
a great little comic I saw where it's like, this kid, like, he's playing Pokemon, and he's like, oh my god, I got Pikachu, or I got Squirtle, I'll make a Bulbasaur, I'm gonna make a Blastoise, and you're like, oh, it's so cool, it's so awesome. And then it's like, you get to like high school, and it's like, no, I don't play Pokemon at all. Like, yeah, that shit's for kids, right? And like, you know, and then it's like college. Dude, I totally got Blastoise. Rock on, man.
Yeah, dude, and everything's okay. That's what's really funny about it. Is like after I was out of high school and you get into like college and shit like that, when there was this really weird phase, because I was just known as the guy that drew all the time, that was just drawing like fucking nonstop in high school, and that's all I did was just draw like fucking constantly in this art class. When I got into high school, it was kind of this, college, it was kind of the same thing, and what I was known throughout college was the fucking Street Fighter guy, because I was the dude that would like be really good at Third Strike back when everybody was good at Third Strike. in the college arcade, and hanging out at the fucking arcade was the cool thing to do. There'd be like girls in there and shit. You know this, you went to the same fucking college I did. There'd be girls in there, there'd be guys in there, everyone would just fucking hang out in the arcade and have fun.
Yeah, man.
And if you were decent at games, you got like a lot of attention, and for some fucking reason, it was really easy to be in college compared to high school because there wasn't nearly as much peer pressure. You can kind of like be funny and like act like yourself, and yeah. The only thing that was weird is that I was a couple of years older than everybody else in my regular college classes because I took all these like art institute classes and bullshit like that.
Yeah.
So when you're a couple of years older than everyone else in like a college class, which is normal, which is totally fucking normal nowadays. It's normal to see somebody like 10 years older. It's you're kind of like the center of attention, which is weird. So it was like, yay for all the popularity I might not have had in high school. It's coming up in college now, and it's actually way fucking better. Because people aren't giant cunts everywhere.